My precision rifle is finally complete. Let's check it out.
Oh, that's amazing. Look at that fish.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are going over my precision rifle. This is I probably have no business owning this and putting this together, but here we are. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, when I look back at when I first started this channel to where I am right now, it is just like my knowledge is increased exponentially. Nowhere near an expert. I just want to throw that out there. I'm nowhere near an expert. In terms of precision rifle shooting, I am beyond a novice. I mean, novice beginner, maybe solid beginner. I'm definitely a solid beginner. But I competed in the Mammoth Sniper Challenge in April. I used a gas gun chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. It wasn't necessarily the wrong choice, but it definitely wasn't the right choice. Talking to a lot of the competitors about their setups and what I can do differently, and just learning from people who've been doing this for a long time, I came up with this setup, and it is freaking awesome. So we're just gonna kind of go through it. I won't go tip to butt because the meat and potatoes is right here, but it sits on an Impact Precision 737R short action, and it has a Hart medium Palma. I'm pretty sure it's a Hart barrel, medium Palma profile, chambered in 6 GT. The 6 GT is a 6mm projectile. It has taken the PRS world by storm. It is a very popular caliber right now, so why not? It's not as much of a barrel burner as a regular 6mm Creedmoor. So I just saw in a group that somebody is still getting sub MOA at 3,500 rounds, so that's encouraging, and hopefully this one will do the same. I don't even think I'll ever get to 3,500 rounds on this rifle, but hey, we'll try. And it sits in a Vision Pro chassis, and this really was the piece de resistance. I was trying to figure out what chassis I wanted to use. I was looking at a KRG, but they were like, oh, you got to modify the trigger well for a trigger hanger. I was like, I don't want to do any of that. So I called the guys at GCP Rifle Co. who made the barrel and barreled the action. They put it all together, and they actually put it in the chassis because they are the only distributors, only authorized dealers of this Vision Pro chassis. And I can't get over how nice it is, and it's just very, very stout. It weighs like 5 or 6 pounds, and it's just awesome. The previous chassis was like a 2-piece, and now this is one solid piece. They moved the barricade stop closer to the mag well, better weight distribution when you're sitting on a barricade. It has this top rail, which is connected by 6 screws on either side with some alignment pins. It just makes it a really, really stable and solid chassis, a solid platform to shoot from. And it's got a full Arca rail on the bottom, so you don't have to buy another Arca rail. Lord knows this thing's as expensive as it is. On the bottom, it has a channel where you can add some brass weights. This is totally proprietary. And then on the inside of the handguard here, on the inside, you have 6 spots for more weights, and then you can add external weights with the M-LOK. This also has a Picatinny rail that you can add to the top, but it'd be really tight to get that in there, so I think I'm gonna just omit that and not have to spend any more money. But the back is equally as impressive. It's got an adjustable cheek weld, an adjustable bag rider. It's got an adjustable length of pull. You can pull it back, but then this shoulder piece also articulates up and down. So I was at the range earlier, and I had it up for some shots, and I had it down for some shots. If it's a little on the higher side, putting it down really gets it into your shoulder, and it is amazing how customizable this thing is on the fly. Along with the weights, there's talks of adding another weight here if you wanted to add more weight to the back. I would love to 3D print something for here to put this remote back here, because when you're on the rifle and you're holding your bag to go up and down with your elevation just a little bit, my thumb is like right there, and I think that would be a really nice spot for that, but I'd have to go into doing some design for that remote in there. I do want to get a quiver to hold a couple extra rounds over here, and then I do want to get the folder that they sell to make this stock fold up. Makes it a little bit easier for when we're running around in the Mammoth Sniper Challenge. I'm going to be using MDT AICS magazines, metal 12 rounders. I didn't have any feeding issues at the range today. Everything worked just fine. Actually, there was one little hiccup, but that was my fault. And now, for what you've been staring at, because you probably can't even see my mouth, is this upper half. And I was talking with a guy at the Mammoth Sniper Challenge after day one, and he had a Vortex Impact 4000 on top, but he did not have a tremor reticle, and that's what he said he wished he had. Or if he, in a perfect world, that's the ultimate setup for that competition. Each stage is 5.5 minutes. You have to run to the shooting area, you have to shoot your pistol, dump your pistol in a bucket, make sure it's safe. Then you have to get into your rifle shooting position, range your targets, adjust your elevation, and then shoot, all in 5.5 minutes. So what this does is we'll get on target, we'll range it with this, it'll give you your holdover, and then using that tremor reticle, which I'll put on the screen right now, you just adjust your elevation by holding over. And I was doing it today, just doing some practice, and I got some speeds on 40 rounds. It was 29.11, but my standard deviation was really high. It was like 22. So that was probably just because I was doing a lot of cleaning in between. But standard deviation was high. The average speed was 29.11, and I held over 3.5 mils at 600 yards, and I hit the target. Couldn't get to 700, and then I ran out of ammo, or I ran out of time. But the setup works really, really well, and that is going to save me so much time shooting. And the recoil was manageable, and the whole setup up top is absolutely amazing. I wanted a 7-35, but it wasn't in stock. I went with the 5-25. I think it's going to be a better option. When you zoom in, you lose the outer rings of that reticle anyway, and I think you can only hold over to like 9 at 25 zoom. So I'm not even going to be at 25 zoom anyway, so there's really no point in having the 7-35, I don't think. So I saved a bunch of money there by going with the 5-25. And then it all sits in an Area 419 one-piece mount. It's 35 millimeter. The rail on the top is 20 MOA, so this is just a one piece, and then I have the short diving board up top. It's all torqued down to spec. It's the base is 36 inch-pounds, the rings are 18, and then this diving board, there's 2 up top, and those are 45. It goes in a 15, 25, 45 back to front, so that it seats nice and straight, nice and even, so it's not left, right, front, or back. So really, really awesome setup. And then this is a Flatline Co. lever, throw lever. Yeah, that's what it's called, the throw lever. And that will, the one that I used in the Mammoth Sniper Challenge from Vortex broke the night before, so I didn't have any way to really adjust my zoom rapidly. But this thing is awesome. I used it on my, it's interchangeable between the Mark V and the Mark IV, so I had it on my rifle for the Patriot games. But this is an incredible setup, and it shoots like a tack driver. I've only got 40 rounds on it, and we're going to do more. I'm going to do that in a separate video, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope I do well. It's time to practice. That's going to do it for this one. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next video.